Welcome back. An exploration of self-representation that celebrates Black consciousness from Pan-African and pan-diasporic. That is the upcoming survey exhibition titled When We See Us, Century of Black Figuration and Painting at the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art, Africa. This will celebrate how artists from Africa and its diaspora have imagined or positioned, memorialized and asserted African and African descent experiences. The exhibition is set to open on the 19th of November at the precursor, rather as the precursor to the museum's Gala fundraising weekend, presented in collaboration with long-standing institutional partner Gucci. Well, Tandazani Dhlakama, assistant curator for When We See Us, joins us on Zoom to tell us more. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live. I suppose we should start with what was the intention of this exhibition.
Well, we're very excited about the When We See Us exhibition that is launching at the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art Africa in Cape Town. The intention was to be able to remind people or tell people about how Black people have been expressing themselves for the last 100 years. And so what people can expect to see in this exhibition is a celebration of Black joy, how different artists from places like Jamaica, the UK, Nigeria, all over the African continent, how they painted themselves or expressed themselves in the last century in a way that is uplifting and celebratory.
Now, how does the title contribute to your understanding of the meaning?
So the title of the exhibition, When We See Us, A Century of Black Figuration and Painting, is actually derived from a film by Ava DuVernay called When They See Us, which was centered around a traumatic story. So we wanted to flip the they and replace it with the we to talk about how we see ourselves, hence When We See Us. And it's about how Black people have expressed themselves in a way that refuses to centralize trauma. So you have themes like the everyday joy and revelry, spirituality, sensuality, triumph and emancipation, all speaking to how we have memorialized and depicted ourselves for decades.
Talk to us about the artists that have contributed to this exhibition.
So we have nearly 200 artworks and about 155 artists from different generations. So we have historic works next to contemporary works. So for example, viewers will be able to see works by American artist Michaelaine Thomas next to Tanzanian artist Sungi Mhlengea, or Clementine Hunter, who was born in the 1800s, next to a work by Amwako Boafa from Ghana, who's a living artist. So what's really exciting is the scope and the scale of this exhibition, because it's very rare to see so many works by Black artists in one space.
Speak to us about your understanding of the title and then having to put it to work, you know, the practicality of it as the curator when you put these works side by side to ensure that the person that comes to see the exhibition understands what the exhibition is about.
Yes, so this exhibition is co-curated by myself and our executive director and chief curator, Koyo Kuo. And what was really exciting and magical for us was to be able to look at gesture and themes and group them together in ways that you normally wouldn't be able to see. So for example, there's a space where we've put an artwork by Amy Sherrill, who's an American artist, the same artist who painted Michelle Obama, next to an Afro-Cuban artist who was born several decades before her, Wilfredo Lamb. And even though there's about a 50-year gap between those two artists, you see the same gesture of people sitting, folding their hands. And so what's exciting is, obviously when you look at a painting, you see a story, But what happens when you put two different, seemingly unrelated paintings together? More stories, more interesting narratives emerge.
Yeah.
And that's what's the most exciting thing.
Right. And I want to talk about the catalogue that accompanies the exhibition. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we had a great time developing this publication with a big international publisher, Thames and Hudson. It basically helps to contextualize the exhibition, but instead of commissioning art historical academic essays, what we did is we commissioned 4 women writers to respond through poetry and literature to the work. So when people look through the catalog, they'll see every artwork in the exhibition, but they'll also be able to look at poetic responses, which is really beautiful and kind of unusual for an exhibition catalog.
Now, talk to us about the partnership with Gucci. How did that come about?
Yes, so Gucci is one of our main sponsors for our curatorial programming, but also for our fundraising gala, a benefit gala, which is taking place next weekend on the 19th. And so the proceeds from the gala, 30% will go towards our educational programming and research for the museum. And we have been doing a lot of programming around telling the African story and promoting art from the continent. And it's not a surprise that a sponsor like Gucci wants to be aligned with us. And we're really excited about that.
Now, the UCT also hosted the Present webinar series earlier this year on the exhibition. What are those about?
So, as a precursor to the exhibition, in March, we started a webinar series titled When We See Us, the same title as the exhibition, in collaboration with UCT's Humanities Center. And for a show of this magnitude, a lot of research and thought went into it. And we wanted to create a space where people can articulate, theorize, and critically engage with some of the research thinking that has gone into the exhibition. So from March, we've been having these webinar series where we bring together the most amazing minds, thinkers, curators, writers, and we unpack some of the themes in the exhibition in collaboration with UCT.
I'm curious about what these minds are unpacking. Is there a similar theme about how they see the theme? Tell us a little bit about what came out of that series.
So far, the series is ongoing. So the When We See Us webinar series will continue until September. But so far, we've been able to talk about what is Blackness, and what is Afropolitanism, unpacking things like pan-Africanism, what does it mean to be part of the pan-diaspora? When we talk about when we see us, who is the us? And why do we have to position ourselves or emphasize the fact that we are seeing ourselves today? It's also about acknowledging that this exhibition has its foundations in many movements like the Black Lives Matter movement, the liberation movements, the civil rights movements, and kind of tying those threads and contextualizing the exhibition through a very particular art historical canon, but also in a way that reminds us of all the cultural, political, economic contributions that have gone into how we see ourselves today.
And I suppose identity is a major part of that conversation, whichever way you look at it.
Definitely. It's about reminding people that though there's a renewed interest in Black figuration and Black painting, Black portraiture, what we are doing today, what we're seeing today is part of a long conversation that artists, people, cultural activists have been having for a very long time. So it was important for us through this exhibition, When We See Us, to remind people that this is just part of an important historical continuum.
Let's talk about tonight. What's happening tonight?
Well, so next weekend we have our Gucci Gala, and we have lots of interesting headline acts that people can expect to see. So it'll be on the 19th. We will have Tabiso Makubela from Expresso being our MC with DJ Stana, MV Funk, and DJ Zinhle. So, and also people will have an opportunity to get a sneak peek or a preview of the When We See Us exhibition. And that's happening on the 19th of November at Zeitz in Cape Town.
All right, I beg your pardon. So it's next week on the 19th?
Yes, a week from now.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us. Good luck with the exhibition and the event next week. When We See Us will open to the public on Sunday, the 20th of November at the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art Africa, in Cape Town. And we were just in conversation with Assistant Curator Tandazani Dhlakama. That is all coming up, I beg your pardon, in Cape Town next week. All right, it's almost news time. Sim's got your details, and then we'll give you all that's coming up. We've also got a group that is Abafana the Boys, ABF. That's our next music guest. They will chat to Sims as well at around 8:10 about their music journey. They're a group of 5 gentlemen that will talk to us about their music journey so far.